Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 are finally getting another Blu-ray release after all this time. From the most unlikely places and the most mysterious. Let's talk about it. So it looks like we are getting Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 coming out from Pictures, or Sandpiper Films. Which is it again? I have to go check. Well, I'll tell you what, let's go check right now. Let's go over to Diabolic DVD, because here's the thing. This is a company that, surprisingly, doesn't have much of an online presence. As you can see right here, when we're looking at for Sandpiper Pictures, it's not even under like partner label. So I actually have to go here to see the releases. Oh, I'm going to the email part. Helps if I go to the right one. So as you can see, there's like 7 releases that are out right now. It's not 7 that they've got done. We'll look at the ones here through Blu-ray.com, which is the best place to find a good, solid listing of every of the Sandpiper Pictures releases here. We have, like I mentioned there before, pretty much a none at all, like online presence, which is amazing in 2024. I'm not quite sure if I'm befuddled by it or I'm impressed by it, but it's interesting there. We can see that this one here, Lord of Illusion, has the deleted scenes and the 120-minute director's cut. So it's going from the Scream Factory one. I see like Sandpiper as a company that looks like they're not a remastering company. They're putting out like they're redoing releases that were already put out before, which is kind of interesting in and of itself. So what exactly does that mean? What do the covers look like? Which we'll check out and when I go to the Blu-ray.com site as well. And what exactly does this mean feature-wise? So Sandpiper is not exactly known for putting in a ton of features. And I don't think they're a restoration company either. So this is not like a Vinegar Syndrome company that's doing its own in-house restorations. They get their prints from previous prints, as far as I can tell. So if it was for instance, it was like a previous release from Twilight Time, or it was a previous release from Scream Factory, it's probably going to be the same print. It's just now you're not going to pay $200 or $300 to get those films, because they were getting up there in price. And I did bring over some of my Olive films to give you an idea of why I think that Sandpiper may be in some way from the ashes of what Olive was. And this is like an Olive release right here, The Deadly Bees. And if you can tell by the look of this, you better see a bit better when I show you the way these are done. It's very much in the line of, like, little to no features. If you're lucky enough to get features, then it's kind of a bonus. It's the old school way of like you would have seen kind of DVDs back in the day. It's not a boutique label, but it's it's a name brand in and of itself. They did put out some really interesting, intriguing titles, including one that I'll end off on because it's a big one that actually Vinegar Syndrome's re-releasing right now. And for the longest time, Olive Films was the only way that I could get this title. As you can see, there's not like, feature-wise, not a ton of stuff there. Usually stuff that was transported over from from a previous release. A lot of the early Sandpiper releases were old Twilight Time releases, so that made people think maybe Sandpiper had some thing with Twilight Time, but they really do seem more of the spiritual successor to Olive Films. And of course, this is Shanks, and it's just the film itself. There's no big special features like the release that's coming out now. But let's talk about the Vinegar Syndrome. Vinegar Syndrome. There, I got it in my mind, right? So we'll talk about the Sandpiper release. Now, previously, Sleepaway Camp, was the first one, but Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 had been released by Scream Factory under these here in the early days. Now, apparently, these were not extremely good sellers for Scream Factory, so they ended up not going on to doing like 4Ks at the time. But we're gonna put a kind of pin in that because there's something to come back to. And it was, pretty loaded up with some features. So I'm not quite sure if any of these features will be transferred over. Still trying to find that out. If I find out any news, when I'm doing a live, I'll kind of update you. But it wasn't the only place that they were put out. They're also put out from 88 Films / their Classics collection. And I switched over to the alternate artworks because I had those artworks there. And there you go. This is Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3, where they use the model for that's not in the movie for the cover art, which I thought was really intriguing. I'm a massive fan of these films, and these had like bonus interviews, one with Mikhail Kovan and one with Justin Kurzweil. That's not on this these releases right here. And I'll be honest, this is not my favorite artwork for the Sleepaway Camp series. I kind of do prefer the model artwork. If you look beneath these here, there's the original art right there for Sleepaway Camp 3. And we get the original art for Sleepaway Camp 2, which is still the model. But for the longest time, this is what people have been wanting. Now, a lot of people were thinking that maybe Vinegar Syndrome or Severin will pick this up. I'm going to get a 4K release of Sleepaway Camp. And that's not what happened. But before we go any further, let's look at the new look for Sleepaway Camp. Let's look at like the look of Sandpiper altogether. Let's go to Blu-ray.com for a second and check that out. All right, and here we can see from Blu-ray.com's forum website the upcoming titles and the titles that came out before for Sandpiper Pictures. We can see the Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 right here. We got River's Edge, Pope of Greenwich Village, Mulholland Falls, Land That Time Forgot, Ralph Bakshi's Heavy Traffic, and Cast a Giant Shadow. So they've put out some extremely good titles here. We can see from the ones mentioned before, Blame No Rio, Lord of Illusions, Lady White is there. And there's a nice mix of titles. And this here, like when I see styles like this, and that kind of reminds me of Olive Films. I know that some of these titles here have kind of like a Twilight time. Some of these were done previously by Twilight time. But kind of feature-wise and kind of production-wise, I really get an Olive Films feel from this company, which has been it's been kind of intriguing, especially when you're looking at some of these here releases and the way that they're done. Right. So I know we didn't get a good look at the covers there because I just went through the Sandpiper stuff. So let's take a quick look at the new covers art for both Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 from Sandpiper. So here we go. This is the new cover art for Sleepaway Camp 3 Teenage Wasteland. People have been kind of iffy on it. We'll dive back and look at Sleepaway Camp 2, which is very similar to the cover art that we're used to seeing, except it's kind of stylized in the way that they've got it done. So this is the new cover art for the Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 Blu-rays. And I'd be interested for you guys to share your thoughts on not just what you think of this cover art, which I do want to know in the comment section down below, but also like share your thoughts on what you think was the best like art that we've seen come out of them. Were you a fan of 2 and 3 because those were considered to be iffy once Scream Factory did the releases for those? I thought they were pretty cool, but they had a bit of pushback as well. It seems like Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 can't come out without there being pushback on the cover art. So what are your thoughts? The thing, Sandpiper has not been known for putting in new bonus features or doing new transfers. People are concerned that this is going to be a previous transfer, but for me, like, I have, as you can see, multiple copies of Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. For me, it's just good that people can get out and get these releases again. One thing that I was able to tell is that Sandpiper Pictures are not an inexpensive company, so that's always a plus. So when you're looking at the the price range for titles like this, I would be saying somewhere in the range of about I think $20-$25. I'd have to go back to DVLAC DVD to look at that again to see what they had for the price on Sandpiper. So I'm going to do that right now. We're while I'm filming this. Yeah, like $21.99 tends to be the average release for a Sandpiper Pictures title, and that's not bad. Not bad at all. Let's be honest. If this was coming up from a boutique label right now, it wouldn't be $21. It would be more expensive, even for a Blu-ray. It would probably be more expensive because they try and load it up. They give you a hard box. Maybe they put a booklet in there, and as my channel is trying to do right now, and we're trying to look at is film before format. So it's not a 4K, and I know some people are kind of disappointed that I'm not quite sure, how cleaned up it's going to be on 4K. Like it might be fantastic, because I had thought that whoever got the rights to the Blu-ray format got the rights to the 4K format. That being said, Screen Factory has hinted at the fact that there could be a forthcoming 4K. Now, don't take my word on this at all. I have no insider knowledge. It's just looking at the forum site. They they heavily leaned in to that levelly. They heavily leaned into that fact that there could be an upcoming, a wink and a nod. There could be an upcoming 4K release. I wouldn't bet on that right now. And in all honesty, if I remember correctly, and if anybody knows any differently, I'm pretty sure these were like straight to DVD releases, and they were like kind of shot back to back. I'm not quite sure what type of restoration work would be done and how beneficial it would be. Unless there was a massive amount of like extra special features, I think I'm good having two Blu-ray editions of Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. I don't think there's going to be anything new on the Sandpiper release that I'm going to need. Now, if you don't have it, would I recommend it? Yeah, I definitely would, because I think they're really fun films. If you like the films, if you want them, and you don't want to pay a high price for them, this is going to be a cheaper way to get them. Now, if you want to wait and see if Screen Factory is putting out those 4Ks, which, we're not sure of, then, you do you when it comes to that. But price-wise, the Sandpiper releases are probably going to be the same releases that we got from Screen Factory with less features on them. I don't know which features, for instance, would be exclusive to Screen Factory. I'd say they'd probably be able to get over the audio commentary, but the behind-the-scenes stuff or the Tale of Two Sequels that was produced by Screen Factory obviously would stay with Screen Factory. So I'm saying that, and I just have to go on a guess here, that what you're going to get with these two, as from looking at previous releases from Sandpiper, is we'll at least probably get the audio commentaries, and for me that's the key. But hopefully they'll be able to port over some of the other special features. Some stuff is probably going to be exclusive, have rights issues that they're just not going to be able to get around. It'll be interesting to see how this one goes. I personally like that kind of funky new look for those releases. Let me know what you think, because I know some people are just not fans of the way that those that they look. But like I showed you before, and when I look at like copy Deadly Bees here, for instance, it does have that kind of feel to it. It does have the kind of I guess faded poster kind of different feel, trying to make it look different than the previous releases. Now these here were previously the way that they were done from Screen Factory, and I'm not sure if I don't prefer the way that the Sandpiper releases look, because it at least gives me more of a feel of the Slasher Classics collection, which reminds me of these right here. And for that, I actually got that old school feel. But anyway, let me know what you think. My name is Aaron. Thanks for watching again today. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. I got a Patreon if you want to join that. We have a lot of cool stuff coming on there, especially this month. There's actually a video today dropping with like an early exclusive video from Cinema Dave, and so much more. My name is Aaron. I will see you next time. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to join Patreon, if you want to join membership, do all that jazzy stuff, and comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what your favorite release for Sleepaway Camp is. What's your favorite? Like, how would you rank the films from Sleepaway Camp, Sleepaway Camp 2, Sleepaway Camp 3, Sleepaway Camp 4, and Return to Sleepaway Camp. What's your ranking for each of the Sleepaway Camp films? That's a video I should do in the near future, but I'd like to see down below what your ranking is. See you soon.
Oh God. Oh, subscription sloth here. Just want to remind you that I know in the summertime especially it can be super warm and lazy. But if you're liking this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to go that step further and join the Patreon, there's a link for that down below. You can super sticker, super chat, or donate. But above all, just lie back and enjoy the video, because that's what I'm going to do.